Now I'm not doing any type of tutorials or anything like that. I'm just playing the game and having a good time. Originally I wasn't going to do this, but a few people I know had told me I should because I'm a mechanic in real life, and they're like, it'd be funny to see you play it, blah blah blah. I'm like, alright, whatever. Um, and I played 18, so I'm familiar with the game. Um, hey, what's going on, Aiden? Yeah, I decided to do it, but I'm not doing tutorials or anything like that. I'm just gonna play the game and, see what happens. Um, so yeah. Basically, I've already started. I've done a bunch of brake jobs and stuff like that, so I'm doing good, man. Thanks. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, basically, I just figured I'd do some gameplay and just have a good time with it. I don't know about doing a series with it or anything like that. And like I said, I'm not doing tutorials or how-tos or whatever. I'm just playing the game. What's up, Harley? How you doing? All right, so our first job of the day is this bad boy, Nissan Skyline, and it's got a bunch of engine problems. Had to change the power steering fluid. I did do that already. Um, but yeah. So how are you guys doing tonight? That's awesome. Um, and let me know if this is too loud, because if you can't hear me, I'll turn it down. I already cut the volume some because I know I tend to be quieter than other things. Ooh, all kinds of stuff. Pistons, camshaft, piston rings. Nice. Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I loved 18. I played the crap out of it. I'm really interested. Alright, try this again. Round 2, let me know if it's too loud. Um, but like I said, I basically, I played 18 and, ooh, fuel rail, fuel filter. Played 18, enjoyed the hell out of it. Figured I'd play this one. Um, yeah, I think the cranking is going to be the biggest thing. But but yeah, I figured, like I said, I'd just do some gameplay, see what happened. I love I definitely get bored of just doing the brake jobs and stuff, though. I definitely prefer doing like the motor stuff. And I'm just doing all the tests to narrow down some stuff. I mean, you know you played the game. So how you doing, Harley? You just lurking? Playing some farm sim in the background? Starter. Alright, so we've got a bunch of stuff to get to. I can already see some stuff up here that's gonna be junk, so cool, cool. I like the fact that they added the fact that you gotta use the spray to get stuff off. That's kind of cool. Eating chips. Well, that's good. Are they good chips? What am I doing? Oh yeah, also I'm playing this on expert mode, so I don't have the little, uh, like the highlights and stuff. So basically I gotta figure stuff out by myself, which is how I like it. Just eating them just 'cause. Why would you do that? Ah, pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? You know, sometimes I hate the fact that they're like, oh yeah, take this part off, but you have to be underneath the vehicle to do it. Funny part is, some of this stuff, I kind of figured. What's going on, SMG? How you doing, buddy? The only thing I will say that drives me nuts about this game is this. You're either at this height or you're over your head. In real life, I put the wheel right here. Right here. I don't like pineapple pizza either. I don't like pineapple, period. I don't like pineapple. I don't like, uh, what's that other stuff? Almonds, coconut. Ugh, I'm all set with that. Mm, uh, is that supposed to be the power steering pump? I think it is. Which means I gotta be smart about it. Yes, Harley is sharing. Tosh, I would definitely recommend. Now, granted, as I said to, I was telling Aiden and Harley, I've played 18 extensively. Um, this is just, honestly, it's a better version. Um, some of it takes a little getting used to. I mean, if you have any type of car experience in general, it's not too difficult. The only thing I'll say takes a little getting used to is the some of the camera stuff. Like when you go to an area, like you say you want to look underneath the vehicle, you got to click it, and it kind of changes your view, and like you can zoom and unzoom, and like if you click a particular part, it'll zoom in on that part. So it takes a little getting used to, but I'd definitely recommend it. Like I said, if you're into cars and stuff like that. Um, I mean, you don't have to be. And to be honest, the cool part is it's fairly realistic. I mean, there's a few things that obviously I don't want to say they skimp on, but they dumb down a little bit because some of it's obviously a lot more complicated, like timing belts and stuff, and they kind of simplify them. Um, Various aspects like that. But I mean, overall, it's a really good setup. And like I said, it gives you a really good idea, I guess, if um, if you want to learn. Like even if you know nothing about cars, it's a decent enough simulator that you can actually get a fair idea about it. SMG. Uh, what do they call those? The Reliant Robins or something? Those little cars with the front wheel. It's like basically like a trike, but they tried to make a car out of it. The water pump with the timing belt, it depends on this one. This is a Skyline. To be honest, I've never actually worked on this particular motor in real life, but it looks like it because it won't let me take it off. So I'm assuming once I take the timing cover off, it will actually allow me to remove the water pump. Robin Reliant. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, the only thing to really get used to is kind of the um, like the camera angles and stuff, but it's not that bad. Yeah, you can drive a car. You can fix them. You can repaint them. Obviously, I started a few hours ago, so just to kind of refamiliarize myself with it. But yeah, you can repair cars. You can drive the cars. As far as I'm aware, if it's anything like the last one, you could run them on a drag strip. So I think you can run them down the road maybe. But I wouldn't say they're like uh, I I don't think it's not like GTA where you can just go drive it around anywhere. Hey, Patty, what's going on? No, I mean you can, like I said, I haven't unlocked everything yet. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. If I remember how to do this. Nope. Nope. All right. There's different locations. So you got your garage where you are, parking, it's where you store cars, test track, you can test stuff there. Racetrack, so apparently you can run it on a racetrack. There's a junkyard you can go to, you can find old wrecks and you can like rebuild them and sell them for cash. Cool, cool. I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Just continuing to mix up the content. Um, Speed track, yeah. So I mean, you can kind of a test of what? I can't drive anything right now. This motor's half apart, and I don't have a vehicle to. This is like a customer car. I don't have enough money to. I don't have. I don't have a car to drive yet. Yeah, pop into Aiden's stream tomorrow. He'll show you. I mean, if I get this thing together and done, which I'm sure I will, but I know it needs cams and stuff. Everything's rusted. Hurry up and fix it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I had that problem a lot in 18. Like I'd forget the clips on the air filter box or the clips on the cap, the distributor cap, just because they're tiny. But I think I forgot them so many times that I get everything together and then I'd have to go back and redo it that I basically got used to remembering them. There is WD-40 in this game. No, you can only really use it when you go to take something apart, and if it doesn't move, then you can hit a button and spray it. At least on console. I don't know how it is on PC. It is, like I said. I mean, it's definitely what do you call it? In depth. And some of the stuff's funny. Like I actually have to. I know I have to change out a piston. Um, what do you call it? Piston rod clip thing on the bottom. Things I haven't actually had to change out in real life. But I'm working on it. SMG, Jesus. Don't hassle me. He who bails on his friend's fishing streams. Alright, I think. See, I'm a general. I mean, I've done a lot of different things, but I haven't had to change pistons. I've done cams on the newer 5.3s, the ones with the valve shutoff stuff. But I haven't actually had to do piston work myself. Ta-da! And there's a bad piston there. I know there's piston rings too that need to be done. So, come on. Up with ye. Um, it can. It depends on, honestly, how efficient you are, Tosh. And, like, for instance, you gotta remember to drain the oil before you take down the oil pan, otherwise it makes a mess. Side note things, but I mean, like I said, knowing basically how things go together to begin with, and then on top of that, come on. And having played 18 pretty extensively, I kind of know how the game allows you to do things. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Played motorcycle mechanic, that was fun. Hold on, give me 2 seconds, guys. I gotta pull up chat on my phone so I know what the hell's going on. Does the RB look longer than a real long block? It's because it's an inline six. You got 6 cylinders in a row. That's how they look in real life, or at least that's how the straight sixes look in real life. You look at a 4-liter straight six out of a Jeep. Oh wow, that one is bad. I actually haven't forgotten stuff yet there, Hayden. It was always clips though in the last one. Electric cars. How do you fix an electric car? Go to new daily batteries. I don't know. I haven't done one yet. Honestly. Um, like I said, I started a few hours ago and played for a while and then took a break and then figured I'd come back and do a little stream of it. But and the other funny part, we use PB Blaster at our shop. We don't use WD-40. And it's not licensed, so in the game I'm pretty sure it's called WD-4. Alright. Halim, honestly. Tosh, yes I am. Which is fine, Halim, but you gotta remember, I don't work on RBs because we don't have them in the United States. I mean, they just legalized, I think, what, the R32 or the R33 just a couple years ago? It's because I shit in it, SMG. Um, yeah, Toyota Supra, that's awesome. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can nitpick the game and be like, oh, it's not that realistic. I mean, you don't have to actually time the timing and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's more for fun. I mean, I could nitpick it to death, but why? It's a game. It's like nitpicking Farming Sim to death. Come on. Thank you. Alright. I'm not potty trained. Nope. I go when the urge is there. When I feel the pressure, I give it the push. Yeah. Alright, let's take a quick look at our list and see how much of this shit we figured out. That's done. Wow, I've got everything. Oh yeah, I gotta put power steering fluid in it because I had to take it out. Okay. So I've got everything. The one thing I like about this game versus the old game, and I think you could do it, but I never figured out how. In this game, when you go into your, like, these are the parts I've just taken off. So the cool part about this is you can actually order everything from this menu. Or not order it from this menu, but you can put it on the shopping list so that you know what you need. Which saves so much time. Because normally you gotta go to the computer and you gotta go into here and go look through all the car parts and stuff like that. Well, once you unlock the tablet, you can actually just go into the tablet here. Does the same thing, but then you open your shopping list. Crankshaft bearing. 1, 2, crap. You can change the amount from that screen too, which I didn't do. It's the only thing I hate. The back is different from there. Okay, so your filter cover, that's not even the right one. Take my money. Worst car I've worked on in real life was a Peugeot. I'd say the worst car I've worked on in real life, and there's been a few, but I'd say one of the top ones is a PT Cruiser. There's no room, and they're garbage cars. Alright, shopping list. Camshaft cap. Nope, see, that's the wrong damn thing. Alright. Idle roller A. Spark plug. I keep doing that. It's gonna drive me nuts. That's the only problem. I'm so used to hitting the circle for back, and instead I um, piston with conrod. I only need the one. Did I do that twice? So, I mean, you can go through all the menus if you want, but it's so much quicker doing it this way. Ah, starter. Bastard. It's gonna be a big job. Close, back, electronics, start. Alright, that's at least a majority of it to get us started. So, alright. She could put on custom size turbos, would be very happy. Yeah, fluids is a nice addition. I bet. And Shaman. I could tell you about the Book of Shame, but then I'd have to kill you. And then basically the nice thing about the installation process is obviously gives you these kind of like ghosted images so you know kind of where to go with things. But like I said before, I've got it on expert so I don't have, typically when you're doing this, taking stuff apart, you get little highlighted outlines so you know what you're doing, or so you know where things go. Ah, Shaman. What are you talking about? With the console version, I don't know if it's the same on PC. Sometimes some bolts you have to actually aim at and do, and then some it just kind of auto, like these, it sets them down and you just hold the install button and it tightens them in succession. So I don't know if it's that way. I'm assuming on PC you actually have to aim at the particular ones. I don't know. Like I said, it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing like rods, you know, you have to actually aim at each individual one to drop them in, or spark plugs or something like that. But in cases like this, the bolts kind of auto tighten, if you will. Yeah, I'm not actually clicking them myself. It's like you basically just on a console you hit the X button and it tightens them in succession. Same thing with the head bolts, same thing with pretty much most of the bolts. Um, Occasionally you do get something you have to aim at specifically to install, but for the most part, like spark plugs, I have to actually do that one myself or look right at it. I can't just, it won't just set them all in. Yeah, basically the bolt pattern, everything kind of does it itself. Like for instance, this valve cover, right? It's going to have, I think it's 8 bolts. I press and hold, I'm just holding the button. I don't have to actually do it myself. See, console, same thing in 18. I mean, sorry, same thing as here in 18. You didn't really have to you didn't have to aim specifically at each bolt. But I think they do that because honestly, the controller is wonky enough. I mean, it works fine, but trying to aim at little things, like I said, doing like rods in a motor, like when you're dropping them in, they're really small. So I think it would just end up being more difficult, and I think less people would be inclined to participate. I saw that SMG. That's awesome. Are you sure about that, man? I think it depends. You want to know why it's flipped? Because this is a left-hand drive, not a right-hand drive like a true Skyline. And probably also because they couldn't get the licensing for a true Skyline, would be my guess. You gotta remember, it's just like Farm Sim. You may have stuff that looks similar, but it's not the same exact thing. And like I said, I'm not arguing that, Halim. I'm just stating that first of all, it's the same thing with Hondas, because in Japan, Hondas are right-hand drive. So that's why for the longest time the motors were flipped. The motors were on the driver's side in America and the trannies were on the passenger side. Whereas I forget what it was, mid 2000s or whatever, they finally switched them. So the motors are actually on the passenger side or the right-hand side and the trannies are on the left-hand side like they are nowadays. So it might be like a cries and RB power. Yeah, exactly. It's a lizard. Um, yeah, we don't have right-hand drives here unless you import one. I think it does. I think it looks more like a 2JZ, but I think that's because they also have a Supra in here. So they probably just took it's probably honestly the same exact motor in both. Because, being what it is, they're not going to make variations of each one. Kind of like every V8's an overhead valve V8 that's, you know. So my guess is when you get to the Supra, it's the same exact motor in it. They just put an inline 3 liter or whatever, and they call it, you know, what it is. Or they call it a this. All right. So wait, are you telling me you were wrong, Halim? Is that what you're saying? I don't. That's the other thing. I mean, I'm not. They did do in 18. They had the Chrysler, Dodge. And they had a few others, Mercedes and stuff. And I mean, some of those were similar to real life, but I'm not looking at this for ultimate realism because it's not. But it's a fun time killer, and it's just I don't know. So I like taking things apart and putting them back together. So. And where is it? Ah. And we are going to change the oil filter because after all that work, see, and it's funny, the oil filter is listed as an I4. It's definitely not an I4. I didn't have to change that oil filter, but I did because that's the quality you get when you come to Krikcet's Cars and Auto Shop. Yeah, but one of the favorite things I like to do. No, I'll DM you a pic of an RP. Dude, that's fine. I don't care. Show me if you want. Yeah, my favorite thing to do, or at least in 18, was you go to the junkyard and you find a car like this and it's completely rusted to shit and everything's, junk on it, and I would buy it for stupid cheap, or I'd find a barn find, and then I would literally strip every single part out of the vehicle, doors off, glass off, everything, rebuild it completely with brand new parts from the scratch, and then repaint it, make it look all nice, and then I would sell it for a huge amount. That's right. If you didn't get a chirp, it's not a good day. Alright, let's do this before I forget. The other thing that bugs me is this. Like the oil, it's like, I'm gonna pour it till it comes bubbling out of the top, and then you know it's full. And it's like, that's not good. I actually, I think it was 15 years ago, I worked at AutoZone as just a parts, a counter bitch. And we had this one guy come in, and he's like, hey, I got to tell you the story about my friend. And we're like, okay, so what happened? He's like, my friend comes to my house and he's like, hey dude, I just did an oil change on my car and I don't understand. It won't start now. It was running fine before, did an oil change and it won't run. And he's like, well, what did you do? He's like, well, I drained the oil out of it. I changed the oil filter. I filled it up with oil. He's like, okay, well then, and you didn't do anything else? He's like, no. He's like, well, he's like, I don't understand. He's like, yeah, I filled it right up. And he's like, what do you mean you filled it right up? He's like, I put 14 quarts in it, and it's a four-cylinder. So he basically hydrolocked the motor with oil. On this, a straight six like this, I would assume somewhere between 5 and 6.5. Again, I don't know for sure, but the size of the oil pan, granted, it may not be perfectly to realism, but size of the oil pan inline six like this, I've seen them like old 4-liter Jeeps take 6 quarts. Um, and I'm trying to think what else. There's not that many inline sixes, although I think Chrysler's doing one coming up. And the old Fords, I think, were right around there. I think they were God, 4.9s, I think. If I'm even thinking of the right motor, I might not be. It's been a while, but I would say somewhere between 5 and 6.5 quarts, maybe 7 tops. Depends. All right, let's take a quick look. Done, done, done. I don't think I'm missing anything. I think that's everything. We shall see. The ultimate test. How long are doing my job? You mean how long have I been a mechanic in real life? 13 years. And I had uh let's say a year and a half experience at Tire Warehouse strictly doing tire mounting, balancing, shit like that, and a year at AutoZone, so I knew parts and all that crap too. So I'd say combined 15 years mechanical automotive related experience, but 13 specifically in a garage. A gallon and a half. So yeah, 6 quarts. Halim. A gallon and a half is 4 quarts and 2 quarts. That's 6 quarts. That's right about what I said. Bam. You're welcome. You've been mechanicked. Ta-da. And it didn't tell me I forgot anything. You're welcome. On to the next schmutz. I haven't been doing the, what do you call them? The story orders, because they're less interesting. Alright guys, chat real quick, because I only have a couple minutes to pick. Should I do the Fairlady Z with the loud exhaust, or should I do the Nissan Silvia with no engine power and change engine oil filter, or should I do basically the Evo, Lancer Evo, for a whole ton of crap? Tapping sounds from engine bay, timing related parts, suspension rattle. Ooh, this one sounds good. I think we're gonna have to go with this one. They added it after, buddy. It was a DLC. But they only added the Fairlady Z and the Silvia. I just want to do this one because it's got a lot to it. This is an oil change and engine has no power. Oh, too late. You gotta be quick on the draw, SMG. I agree with you, but here we can actually fix this. Granted, I only have one car lift. Yeah, I know they added the R35. I only have one car lift, but I think I can take. Can I do it? Is it gonna crash the game? Nope. Okay. So that one's outside for the moment because obviously I don't have room for 2 cars in here because, I happen to buy a garage with a giant fucking bus in it because that's cool. Alright, so real quick, let's see. We need to no power for change oil. Alright, so I apologize ahead of time if this is loud. I have dropped the volume of the game down to, I believe it's 5%. So if I go any lower, you won't hear a single thing. But it could be loud. Alright, nothing internal. Oh yeah, so as you level up, you get all these cool things like fuel pressure test, tire gauge, multimeter, and it helps you diagnose things a bit. Why is it green but blue in the picture? Because the pictures are generic. Because, Okay, just checking. I'm pretty sure Aiden was in here first, and he told me to lower it, and I dropped it down a bit more, but I'm at 5%. I can't go any lower because it goes in intervals of 5. I'm just running all my tests because my tests tell me things. They speak to me. But yeah, I love this game. I like taking things apart. But like I said, my favorite thing to do is literally completely build a vehicle, which I will do once I get a second bay that I can have something sit in, and then I will definitely, well, that's not good. Engine has no power. Oh, another thing that, I mean, we know it needs an oil change. The alternator looks good. Another thing is it's easy to kind of narrow stuff down. Like the oil fluids, you see how rusty that is? When parts are really bad, they look like crap. So they're really kind of, I don't want to say easy, but they're... Alright, well, we'll start with the obvious. Check the plugs. Because I think I did what? Compression test, fuel pressure. I don't remember if I did this. See, on the SR20 intake is on the right, exhaust to the left. Are you asking me about what you sent me on Discord, Halim? Because I'm not on Discord. ECU. Ooh. Alright. I don't remember if they had engine computers in the last one. Alright, ignition coil, ECU. Wow, okay. I'm wondering if the last one is a spark plug. Part not discovered. You're gonna be something retarded, aren't you? Good. I'll leave that off. I don't think that's it. Ooh, I bet you I know what it is. Tell me I'm right. Not right. Crap. I wonder, Evan, because obviously I haven't gotten to the point where I can do, like, tear a bunch of stuff. I don't think I have everything unlocked so I can tear everything apart. But when I get to that point, I wonder if you can do... Hey, Aiden, can you do rear ends in this? Hey, what's up, Bruce? How's it going, buddy? Turbo looks okay. And is that the intake or the exhaust? That is the exhaust. That manifold looks a little rough. Well, I have to drop the oil anyway, so I'll drop the oil, change the filter, and I will see about maybe something underneath. But the other thing, one of the other things I like about this, I don't know if Tosh is still in here, but he was asking, um, one of the cool things you can do is like taking apart struts and doing tires. I don't know if you noticed, Aiden, when you do tires now, when you balance them, it doesn't just automatically balance them, you have to kind of adjust them, which is kind of cool. I don't see anything obvious. I mean, nothing came up for... I'm doing pretty good, Bruce. Just chilling, chilling. Oh, Aiden. Um, I mean the differential, the rear differential, where the gears are for a rear-wheel drive car. There's a cover here. I don't I don't think I can take it off. Oh, maybe you can. I don't know. But there's gears in here. And on the old one, when you took a rear end out, you just took the whole entire rear end. Um, yeah. Okay, so you can't actually change the gears out. That's too bad. Damn bang. No. No barkins. Come on, bud. Crap. What was that? Hmm. That's cheating. Look at that. Didn't even have to take it apart. Alright. My assumption. Belt looks a little rough. I'll check the belts. Who doesn't? Ah, crap. Before I get too far on that, I'm going to check over here because I've had this happen before and I think it's going to be that. That's the thing I hate. I mean, I get, again, it's a simulator. It's not 100%, but you see how crappy this top of the air filter housing looks? They're going to be like, oh, this is the other part causing power issue, which more if there was a loose connection to the airbox or it was cracked or something, but just because it looks like crap, I guarantee you that's it. Air filter cover. Oh man. Okay. Air filter cover. ECU. Ignition coil. Ignition coil. Alright. Oh yeah. Because this is under electronics. These damn little clips. I bet it's a lot easier on a PC where you've got a mouse instead of trying to get it with the little dot from the thing. Hey, what's going on, Matt? Yes, SMG, that was fantastic. How you doing, Matt? Glad to see you in here. Come to join the party, as it were. Alright, let's do this. Well, SMG, you'll be glad to know. I've got one already like in the works. So nice. Oh well, shit. You should have been here yesterday. I was doing Fishing Simulator. Hmm. Yeah, it's the fishing North Atlantic, so it's like deep sea fishing. You got harpoon fishing, deep line fishing, net fishing, trawling, lobster fishing, crab fishing. Variable something timing. It's like VVT on some of the others. It's variable valve timing, but this one's probably variable something. I don't know what the E stands for. But V is going to be variable. Your T is timing. The E, I'm not sure. Variable engine timing, probably. Yeah, you like to fish for trout. Brown trout. Mwahaha. Alright. Now I think that's everything. That is everything. So, and there's Patty again, lurking. I'll see you lurking. Alright. We're done this one. Now we can go outside and move the other one in. Because this one's going to be a big job. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it'd be variable engine because if it's a variable timing setup, it's going to adjust not only the exhaust but the intake valves too, the cams. So I would say probably engine, but I mean, it could be either. No, it's not going to be T for turbo. Yes, we know what LADA stands for, SMG. You tell us all the time. Yeah, okay, Halim, I gotcha. Someone say lurking? Yes, I did. I see you lurking. We have 3 state parks that are stock daily trout, all our rivers that are spring fed. That's awesome, Matt. My grandmother had a camp up in the middle of nowhere up in New Hampshire here, and we used to go fishing, and she had, I don't remember how many acres, but it was literally like an hour on a dirt road and then like another 20 minutes on like an even worse dirt road that you could barely get down, and it was this gorgeous clear river with everything was so green. It's like Ireland green. I want to see you like. Nice. You tell him. Tapping sound from engine bay. Replace timing parts. Okay, we'll do that. Engine oil. Suspension rattling. Loud exhaust. This one's going to be a big one. Alright, so we're going to start with our typical... Thank you, Matt. I don't know if you're... I'm assuming you're talking about the camp story, not the fuel test. But yeah, now I miss it. We went there as kids, and my grandmother passed away, and then they ended up having to sell it to cover the cost of, all that crap. So It was lost to the family, but I have some good memories. You know, you're not helping me here. That's an Evo lookalike. They do have apparently they do have a Chevy Caprice in here. Or no, it's an Impala lookalike. I don't remember if it's actually called an Impala. My first car was a 91 Caprice Classic, so, which is awesome. Everything's checking out there. Looks like now, unlike real life where you take, let's put this up on the lift. It is. I mean, some of it obviously simplified um, for ease of functionality, if you will, but it's definitely got its what do you call it? Intricacies, if you will. I guess you can stay. That's cool. Yeah. Ah. Damn it. Well, that's what I get. Wasn't thinking. Water pump should have drained the fluid first. Now made a mess. Cost me money. So, keep in mind, always drain your fluids. And then it's going to cost me money to put more in. Don't forget your cam timing chain. Or your WD-04. Danbay. Danbay. Come here, buddy. Oh, yeah. Obviously, some of the fine-tuning of this is a little easier if you're on PC. I would assume because with a mouse, you'd be able to target things a little easier than what I'm doing. You should see a pushrod motor. Those are fun. Although I will say, I wish it worked that quickly in real life. Like a bolt doesn't move, so you just spray it, and then instantly it's free. No heat necessary. Alright. Now, variable electronic timing. Oh, there you go. Hey, thanks, Shaman. Thank you for joining in and hanging out. I appreciate it. And that turbo's toast too. Yeah, I didn't think that. Alright. That'll have to get from underneath. Now we're down to the nitty gritty. Alright. You bastard. It's gonna make me go to the other side. Oh. Alright. So what I'm doing right now is I am actually taking the starter off, and then I'm going to drop the oil pan to check inside because I feel like there's going to be something in there as well. But I had to drop it down to get the starter out, which is kind of funny because in real life sometimes you can get it from the top, sometimes you can get it from the bottom. Yep. Alright, so it's a bunch of exhaust that needs to be done. Let me check real quick before I go too much further. Suspension. Alright. So I don't actually need to pull the oil pan because I figured everything out. I got everything right here, and the only thing left I have to figure out is suspension rattle, which could be a multitude of things. Mainly that. Alright, Aiden. Thanks for coming in. It's good having you in here, man. Thank you to everybody who's come in and hung out so far. I don't know how much longer. I'll probably finish up this job and then I might call it quits for tonight. I'm not 100% sure. Yep. Okay. So I figured that out. But, yeah, so this is the game. Aw. What's going on, Jason? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream. As it is, my puppies are getting rambunctious, so I'm gonna throw this thing back together. And then probably call it quits. But, like I said, we'll see either A, how much of this I can get done, or if I can get it done quickly. Nope, wrong button. Alright. Nope, wrong button. Hey, what's going on, Mateo? How you doing, buddy? So what's good, Mateo? How you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good day. I think once I have a little more money in the game, I'll try out some of the other, and have unlocked some of the other stuff I'll actually be able to try out. Like the tracks and stuff, and build a car that I can actually see if it'll run on it and how well that goes. Alright. Guys, no parking. Yes, I know. Dambe. Yes, I hear you. Oh, my puppies. Crazy, crazy puppies. Right? That's cool, though. Probably go, well, if I ever got into tuners, or I'd love to run like a 2JZ. But I just have a Hemi in my pickup truck. How redneck that sounds. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think. We've got, what do we have? 85, 87, 89, or 91? 93 for some places. Did this last time. Fuel injectors first. I kind of wish they had like how they do it in steps with everything, but in this particular case, they're showing the fuel injector with the intake, which is kind of weird. I mean, in real life, you'd put the injectors in the intake anyway, but yeah, well, it's like up here, man. You know, they shut down us producing our own shit so we can buy it from, you know, another country. It's like, here's my question. Why are we stopping our own production if we can, and I forget what it is, they said we could run on our own gas for the next 95 years or something like that, 50 years. If they're planning on having everything green by then and battery powered, who the hell cares if we use our own shit? It's like, why don't we use our own shit? It would save having to pay someone else and all that crap. Right to the top. So yeah, I'm gonna give you guys probably like a 5-minute warning here. I guess now my puppies are gonna go nuts. But yeah, basically I think once I finish this particular car, I'm gonna call it quits for the night. I got other shit to deal with, but I will. Yeah. You gotta remember, Liam, nobody cares what we think. Alright. Speaking of which, this one's actually done. So, okay, that's fine. I'm getting off this. Alright guys, well, my pups are crying to go out, so I will let you go. Everybody, thanks for coming in. Have yourselves a good night, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.